Today we're looking at the 10 best value for money cars that you can buy from 100k to 10k at 10k intervals. Let's get straight into it. Let's go with our 100k car, and I genuinely think the Ferrari 599 GTB Fiorano is among the best value for money cars sub 100 grand. It's literally the predecessor to the F12 and 812, which are both significantly more expensive, and it's not even that old. It was literally available for around the same time as the 458, only arriving a few years before. Another Ferrari the 599 was related to is literally the £3 million Enzo, as they share the same 6-litre V12 engine, which is tuned slightly differently in the 599 to put out 612 brake horsepower, taking the car to 60 in 3.6 seconds, a tenth slower than the Enzo. I think it's a pretty iconic design too, with the flying buttress that's become more common in some recent Ferraris as well, and given there are fewer than 200 on the roads in the UK, it's an insanely rare car to see. They start at around 75k, and for our 100k limit we'll be looking at a 2011 model with around 7,000 miles on the clock. That engine really isn't put under much stress in the 599, especially with the way it's tuned for grand touring, but some owners have suffered oil related issues, especially from overfilling, plus it's a Ferrari so expect high service bills. Now let's drop down to our 90k car, the Porsche 911 991.1 GT3, possibly the most capable car you can buy within this price range when it comes to a bit of grand touring, track driving and even dailying. It looks more exotic and has the credentials to back up those looks on track, with a 7-minute 28-second lap time at the Nürburgring, faster than Lamborghini Huracan, Carrera GT and even the 997.2 GT3 RS, so it's already showing that value for money. Alongside many of the performance parts, that track pace comes from the 3.8 litre flat 6 block that makes 468 brake horsepower, taking the car to 60 in 3.4 seconds, so faster than both the Enzo and 599. Now you will have to compromise slightly at under 90k, as you can't get these sports seats for that kind of money. It's the comfort seated examples that get into our price range, but from a daily perspective that's no big deal. These start at around £84,000, and for our 90k limit you'll get yourself a 2014 model that's done around 16,000 miles. Early doors they had faulty engine bolts that caused a recall and subsequent 10-year warranty, which many are coming to the end of, but generally they've been quite a reliable car. You have to consider the Audi R8 V10 Plus for under 80k as one of the best value for money cars in this price range. It's literally built on the same platform as the Lamborghini Huracan, sharing the same engine too, so given the Huracan starts at around 110 grand nowadays, you're already saving over 30k. They have a lovely naturally aspirated 5.2 litre V10 engine that makes 610 brake horsepower, taking the car to 60 in 3.2 seconds, making it the quickest car on the list. I think that naturally aspirated engine is so underrated too. It's so rare to find a supercar that doesn't have some kind of forced induction or electrification these days, so I do see the R8 as one of the last of its kind in the supercar world. The only thing that's non-traditional in terms of the supercar formula is the all-wheel drive. You'll find them starting at around £70,000, and our 80k limit will get you a 2016 example with 30,000 miles on it. These are known to be relatively expensive when it comes to servicing and maintenance, with oil leaks, carbon buildup and transmission gremlins and cooling system issues known too. Let's jump down to 70k now and talk about the Aston Martin DB11, the predecessor to the DB12, successor to the stunning DB9 and the basis for the incredible Superleggera. And probably most importantly, this DB11 was the first car to truly bring in a new design language for Aston, which has informed their car designs ever since, making it a bit more special. And to the untrained eye, this car easily looks way more expensive than it's actually listed for second hand. It's come with a 5.2 litre V12 engine putting out 600 brake horsepower, taking the car to 60 in 3.8 seconds, which is pretty rapid considering the car is a Grand Tourer built to eat up the miles and be comfortable and look good doing it. The interior as well as a truly lovely place to be. It almost feels beautifully handmade, with large pieces of leather matching with carbon fibre and the likes. It really is a luxury Grand Tourer, though some owners have complained about the Mercedes infotainment. 60k is the lowest you'll find these listed for, and 70k is enough for a 2017 model that's done around 30,000 miles. Reliability has been good on these so far, but water ingress into the coil packs and spark plugs has caused problems with some. As we cut the budget down again by 10k, we have the Lamborghini Gallardo, a car that outside of inflation, maintenance and ownership costs, you could have effectively owned for free if you bought them when I started this YouTube channel. It's literally sat at around or just under the 60k mark for so long, and some examples have even increased in price in the last 8 years or so. The Gallardo was only the second car to be released with Audi in charge, so it was known to have slightly better reliability outside of the E-gear, which were known to be problematic, as well as clutches in manual examples. Part of the reason for those failures was the insane sounding 5 litre V10 block that makes 493 brake horsepower, getting it to 60 in 3.9 seconds, which which is crazy because that means that our sub 10k car in this video actually makes more power than this Lambo. These come as both coupes and spiders, and typically you can get them in both within our price range too, so you're pretty spoilt for choice. If you want me to spend around £55,000 and 5k more than that will get you a 2006 example that's done around 30,000 miles. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are, then do hit like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. 72% of people watching right now aren't subscribed. If that applies to you, please get involved. And in the comments down below, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this type of video, trying to do literally every single price range from 10k up to 100k. Let me know how it goes. We've got a fair few Grand Tourers on this list. The Mercedes AMG GT-S definitely deserves a spot for under 50k, given it's already the sportier version of the standard and already lovely AMG GT. Considering you have the AMG GT-R Black, GT-R and GT-C above this, all for significantly more cash, you really are getting into something pretty insane for the money. And it's not like it's much less performant. It still gets the same 4-litre V8 twin turbo engine as the others that makes 502 brake horsepower, taking them to 60 in 3.7 seconds, so just 0.1 seconds slower than the GT-C and just around 40 brake horsepower less. This car was only the second ever produced entirely by Mercedes-AMG after the SLS, which is why the car comes with a 93% aluminium structure to keep it lightweight. They start at around £40,000, and for 10k more than that you'll be looking at a 2015 example with 40,000 miles on the clock. Given the engine is so broadly used across many cars, the key problems are well known: fuel leaks from O-rings on the injectors being the one I could find the most on forums, alongside exhaust flaps failing. There is a strong debate for the Nissan GT-R being the single best value for money performance car available, and it's our sub 40k car for this video. There was a time you could get them for under 30k a few years back. I mentioned that the 991 GT3 did the ring in 728, but the GT-R did it in 726, despite being significantly older and from thousands of miles away compared to that Porsche. Even worse, it came back a few years later and managed a 719 in 2013. Terrifyingly quick. This car has nearly bang on 50-50 weight distribution and one of the most tunable hand-assembled engines in the world of cars, a 3-litre V6 twin turbo block, putting up 471 brake horsepower, taking them to 60 in 3.4 seconds, making the joint second quickest car on the list. That engine is also known to be pretty reliable, though potential problems are known with engine bearings, piston pins and gearbox solenoids. All that combined makes this car renowned for being a supercar killer, and considering it's significantly cheaper than most supercars, it has to be up there on value for money. They start at around 37 grand, and for our sub 40k limit you'll be getting yourself a 2016 model that's done around 40,000 miles. I had the amazing opportunity to drive our 30k car on this list thanks to my good friends at Motorland, the Jaguar F-Type R, which I think might be the best value for money F-Type you can get into right now. For sub 30k you're getting an absolutely insane engine, a 5-litre supercharged V8 that makes 542 brake horsepower, getting the car to 60 in 4 seconds in rear-wheel drive spec, which is the one that I drove, but you most commonly find them in all-wheel drive instead. It's only slightly slower than the SVR, it's almost as powerful, and outside of that additional performance tuning and aggressive looks, it's a very similar proposition for around 15 grand less, so why wouldn't you go for it? And I absolutely adored driving one. I was worried it was going to be a bit boring, but it was an absolute riot. It wanted to throw me into the bushes most of the time if I wasn't giving it respect, and I love that in a car. You'll find these starting at around £25,000, and our 30k limit will get you a 2015 example with 70,000 miles on it. They are known to have diff and cooling system leaks, and some early models had supercharger issues. Like the F-Type, I very recently had the chance to drive the BMW M4 Competition thanks to the Motorland guys, and it did everything it needed to do to set itself apart from the standard M4, which is also very good value for money under 20k. It's got a few handling based mods over the standard M4 and a bit more power, and to drive this makes the car feel that bit more planted on corners, and roguely I found that it also felt a bit safer at slower speeds. Like the Gallardo, you get this both a convertible and coupe, and though the latter probably looks better in winter, in summer with the roof down, an M4 Comp convertible is an incredibly rude car, made even better by that interior really having stood the test of time in terms of looks. These come with a 3-litre twin turbocharged inline-six engine that makes 443 brake horsepower, taking the car to 60 in 3.9 seconds, pretty decent for a rear-wheel drive car. 18k is the minimum you'll find these listed for, and for our 20k limit you'll get a 2016 model that's done around 70,000 miles. Reliability has been decent on these broadly, but the DCT gearbox has had issues. And for our sub 10k car we have the first generation Bentley Continental GT, which fell below 10k in the last couple of years, having been available for under 15 grand for probably the last 7 to 8 years. This might be the cheapest car you could potentially call an exotic, but it's not cheaply put together. The interior is easily among the best on this list. We should expect, given adjusted for inflation, this car is worth well over 200 grand brand new in 2003, so it's dropped by more than 95% in price. It's actually the oldest car on the list by quite a long way too, and yet its engine managed to have quite an impressive impact, given it's still used in Bentleys today. It's that 6-litre twin turbocharged W12 block putting out 552 brake horsepower, taking the car to 60 in 4.8 seconds, so significantly slower than everything else on this list, but still plenty wafty. You need to spend around 9 grand to get into one, and our 10k price range will get you a 2005 example that's done around 75,000 miles. They have a bad reliability reputation, but specialists actually mostly seem to agree that they're pretty solid when maintained properly. They're just expensive to maintain is the issue. That was 10 of the best value for money cars you can buy for every price range. Now you should check out my review on that M4 Competition because it really is insane value. Click on screen for that.